Hello, today we will be discussing supported decision-making in Florida. Today we will talk about how people with disabilities can make their own decisions with support from people they trust. We will also explain what Florida law says and share practical ways to use SDM in real life. My name is Alex and I will be your digital presenter today. Before we begin, here is one quick note. I am an AI presenter, and I am here to help share information and resources created by the team at Family Network on Disabilities, also called FND. Everything you will hear today is based on materials prepared by FND staff. We aim to share clear, research-based information that supports families. Now, let's get started. Welcome. We are glad you are here. As we go through today's session, I invite you to think about one decision you or your loved one is facing right now. It could be about school, healthcare, work, money, or living independently. That will help you connect these ideas to real life. Before we dive in, I would like to share a little bit about Family Network on Disabilities, also called FND. Family Network on Disabilities began in 1985, when parents of children with disabilities came together for mutual support and shared information. FND is family-centered and family-driven. What makes FND unique is that many of our board members, management staff, and program staff are either individuals with experience with a disability or have family members with a disability. That perspective helps us do this work with empathy and understanding. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization helping families across the state. We do not work for local, state, or federal agencies, and we are not a school district. We are funded in part by the U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of Health through the Health Resources and Services Administration. We use that funding to provide information, resources, support, and training to families, educators, professionals, and providers throughout Florida. We do not charge for our services. We are also the statewide Parent Training and Information Center, also called the PTI, and the statewide Family to Family Health Information Center. Before we go further, I want to share an important reminder. At FND, we are not attorneys, doctors, or mental health professionals, and we do not provide legal or medical advice. What we can do is share research-based information, resources, and support. We also encourage collaboration with schools and community agencies so families feel more confident and connected. Here is what we will cover today. We will start with an introduction to supported decision-making, including who it is for and how it works. Then we will discuss Florida's 2024 supported decision-making law and what it means in real-world settings. We will walk through examples, tools, and practical strategies. Then we will talk about how to write and monitor a supported decision-making agreement. And we will end with resources and next steps. With SDM, the person keeps the legal right to make their own decisions. They choose trusted supporters who help them understand options, communicate choices, and think through pros and cons. Supported decision-making is person-centered. That means the support is based on the individual's needs and preferences. The person stays in control as the decision-maker. Support can be informal, like talking through options with a parent, teacher, friend, or mentor. Support can also be formal, through a written agreement that explains who will help and how. Everyone needs support sometimes. Needing help does not take away a person's right to make choices. And in 2024, Florida recognized supported decision-making as a legal alternative to guardianship. You may have heard of substitute decision-making. This is the traditional model in which someone, such as a guardian, is legally appointed to make decisions for a person with a disability. In Florida, this often occurs through guardianship, which can give another person full or partial control over decisions such as medical care, education, or finances. Substitute decision-making often involves a legal process, including evaluations, a court hearing, and ongoing oversight. Guardianship may still be appropriate for some individuals with significant needs. But Florida law now requires that supported decision-making be considered before moving to more restrictive options. Supported decision-making can benefit many people. It is helpful for youth preparing for adulthood, especially students with an IEP or 504 plans who face big decisions after high school. It is also helpful for adults with intellectual or developmental disabilities who want support with daily planning, budgeting, or understanding information without giving up control over their choices. And it helps to remember we all lean on other people to help us think through decisions. Supported decision-making makes that support intentional and respectful for individuals with disabilities. If someone needs help understanding options or communicating decisions but does not need a guardian, supported decision-making may be a great fit. Florida now has a law that strengthens the right of individuals with disabilities to make their own decisions with support. First, supported decision-making is a legal alternative to guardianship in Florida. As of July 1st, 2024, individuals can use supported decision-making to get help without giving up their rights. And this bears repeating. Before approving guardianship or guardian advocacy, courts are required to consider supported decision-making first. Second, supported decision-making agreements must be honored in real-world settings, like schools, doctors' offices, banks, and service providers. If an organization refuses to accept an agreement, they must provide a written explanation. Third, the law includes protections. Supporters must act in good faith. They must be respectful, honest, and focused on supporting the individual. If someone abuses their role, there can be legal consequences. Supported decision-making offers a flexible and empowering option. It does not replace guardianship in every situation, but it gives many families a less restrictive option that keeps the person in control. One of the best features of supported decision-making is flexibility. Agreements can cover many areas depending on what the person wants support with. This may include healthcare, finances, education, work, or housing. Some people start with one area, like help during medical appointments. Others include several areas, and the agreement can be updated as needs change. Supported decision-making grows with the person, and it keeps the individual in charge of their support. Here is how supported decision-making works. First, the individual chooses trusted supporters. These might be parents, siblings, friends, mentors, teachers, or professionals. Next, the individual decides what areas they want support in. Supporters can share information, help compare options, and help the person communicate decisions. I like to say the person is in the driver's seat, and supporters are like a GPS. They help with directions, but they do not take the wheel. Supported decision-making can also change over time. Supporters can be added or changed, and areas of support can be updated as life changes. Supported decision-making starts with an important belief. We presume every person is capable of making decisions unless there is clear reason to believe otherwise. If someone communicates differently or needs more time, that does not mean they cannot make choices. Many people simply need information presented in a way that fits their learning style, like plain language, pictures, fewer options, or more time to think. This is not about lowering expectations. It is about creating access so people can succeed on their own terms. Here is another important idea in supported decision-making: dignity of risk. Everyone has the right to take risks and learn from experiences. That could be trying a new job, managing money, or living more independently. As supporters, we want to protect our loved ones. But overprotection can limit independence. Supported decision-making helps balance support and freedom. It allows the person to try, learn, reflect, and grow with a support network beside them. Here is an example of what supported decision-making can look like. Kyle is a young adult who loves baking. He participates in a bakery apprenticeship program, and he is proud of the skills he is building, like following recipes, measuring ingredients, and learning food safety. With supported decision-making, Kyle has a written agreement that includes his mom, Mary, as a supporter. Kyle is still the decision-maker. Mary's role is to help him understand his options and think things through. For example, Kyle may be deciding what kind of baking job fits him best. Does he prefer early morning shifts or later in the day? Does he want to decorate cakes, prepare dough, or work the register? Mary helps Kyle compare choices, write down questions to ask his program coach, and talk through the pros and cons. Kyle is also learning how to plan for real-life baking goals at home. He chooses what he wants to bake, makes a shopping list, and decides what tools he needs. Mary can help him check prices, set a budget, and create a simple step-by-step plan, but Kyle chooses the recipe and makes the final call. Sometimes Kyle runs into challenges, like a recipe not turning out right or getting feedback from a supervisor. Mary can help him reflect on what happened and make a plan for next time without taking over. Kyle makes the final choices. This helps him build confidence, responsibility, and ownership over his life. Note, this is a fictional example with details changed to protect privacy. Healthcare decisions can be confusing for anyone. Supported decision-making can help by allowing supporters to attend appointments, help the person understand diagnoses, and support them in asking questions. A helpful tool is a HIPAA authorization form. This allows the supporter to speak with medical providers and access information while the individual stays in control. Over time, this kind of support can help a person learn skills like scheduling appointments, refilling prescriptions, and managing health needs more independently. Now let's talk about money. Budgeting and money management can be challenging. Supported decision-making can help the person understand income, expenses, savings, and needs versus wants. Supporters can review spending together, build a simple budget, and use tools like charts, apps, or visual trackers that match the person's learning style. In some cases, families may use additional tools like joint accounts or a representative payee. The goal is to support the person while keeping them involved in planning and decisions. Supported decision-making encourages financial literacy, which supports independence and confidence. Choosing where to live is a major decision. With supported decision-making, supporters can help tour housing options and talk through what matters like cost, safety, location, transportation, and routines. Sometimes a short trial stay can help the person test what it feels like to live in a new setting and decide if it is a good fit. This approach builds confidence and helps the person choose a living situation that feels safe and right for them. Employment is about more than earning money. Work can bring purpose, identity, and connection. Supporters can help explore options through job shadowing, volunteering, or informational interviews. These experiences help the person discover interest and build confidence. Supporters can also help talk through logistics like transportation schedules and how to ask for support at work. Over time, the person learns self-advocacy skills that can last a lifetime. Before we move on, let's pause and reflect. Many families are already doing supported decision-making in everyday life. You might be helping someone plan their week, attend appointments, talk through spending, discuss safety, or decide what living situation feels best. Supported decision-making does not have to start with a formal document. It often begins with everyday conversations, planning, and problem-solving. Noticing what you already do well is a powerful foundation for more intentional support. Supported decision-making can also be part of education planning. Florida's Department of Education has encouraged IEP teams to discuss supported decision-making during post-secondary transition planning. This is important because it helps families and school teams consider options beyond guardianship. When students are included in decisions, they gain more ownership of their education and build skills they will use in adulthood. If you are a school team member, bringing up supported decision-making shows belief in the student's ability. If you are a family member, it can be a helpful way to start planning with your child's team. Technology can support decision-making skills. Some free planning tools can help youth set goals, break goals into steps, reflect on choices, and track progress. They may also allow supporters to provide feedback and encouragement. Other tools can support routines and communication. Some apps break tasks into picture-based steps to support daily routines. Other tools support communication for individuals who are nonverbal by using symbols, visuals, and text-to-speech. Everyday tools and apps can help with shared scheduling, reminders, and checklists. Digital note tools can also help organize information like appointments, medications, and spending plans. These tools do not replace personal support. They enhance it by adding structure and clarity. There are some specific tools listed on this slide for you to explore. AI tools can support life skills like budgeting, job interview practice, time management, routines, and meal planning. For example, ChatGPT can help create step-by-step plans and role-play interviews. Microsoft Copilot can help build budgeting spreadsheets and drafts inside Microsoft apps. Google Gemini can help organize tasks and schedules in Google Tools. Canva Magic Studio can help create visual guides and templates. It is important to use AI with support, especially at first. A trusted supporter can help guide safe use and help the person learn how to ask helpful questions. And remember, never share personal or sensitive information like social security numbers, addresses, or bank details. Keep questions general and focused on learning. With guidance, AI can be a helpful tool for supported learning and decision-making. Here is one example of how AI can help with budgeting, with a supporter guiding the process. AI can explain terms like income, expenses, savings, and needs versus wants in simple language. It can create sample budgets using general scenarios, like a weekly allowance or part-time income. And it can suggest tools like budgeting apps, visual charts, or trackers that match the youth's learning style. The key is that the supporter helps make it safe, realistic, and connected to the person's goals. Here is another example. Debbie is a young college student who struggles with managing her weekly allowance and textbook costs. Some weeks feel manageable, and other weeks, one unexpected expense can throw everything off. Debbie uses a supported decision-making plan that she already has in place. In her plan, she chose her older brother and mentor, Sam, as a supporter for money decisions. Debbie is still the decision-maker. Sam's role is to support her understanding and planning, not to make choices for her. To get started, Debbie and Sam break her expenses into simple categories. They look at fixed costs like textbooks or course materials and flexible costs like food, transportation, and personal spending. Sam helps Debbie see what has to be paid first, what can be adjusted, and what might be worth planning for ahead of time. Next, Sam helps Debbie explore different budgeting tools and techniques. They try a few options, like a basic notes list, a weekly spending plan, or an app. Sam explains the pros and cons of each one in plain language. He might point out that one option is easier to use, another gives better reminders, and another helps her see patterns over time. Then Debbie chooses what works best for her. As Debbie tracks her spending, Sam encourages her to notice where her money is going. He helps her look for patterns, like how often small purchases add up, or which days she tends to spend more. If Debbie wants help, Sam can sit with her while she reviews receipts, checks her bank app, or updates her budget. He can offer ideas and ask guiding questions, but he does not direct her choices. Over time, Debbie and Sam review Debbie's financial choices together. They celebrate when Debbie reaches a goal, like saving enough for a required textbook or staying within her weekly spending plan. If something does not go as planned, they adjust the budget based on Debbie's real needs without blame or judgment. Little by little, Debbie learns what works for her. She becomes more confident making informed money decisions independently because she had the right support while still staying in control. Note, name and image have been changed to protect privacy. Writing a supported decision-making agreement does not have to be complicated. First, choose trusted supporters. Next, decide what areas of life the person wants support in, like healthcare, finances, education, housing, or employment. Then, write the agreement in plain language. Include the names of supporters, the areas of support, and what kind of help the person wants. In Florida, agreements must be in writing and signed with witness and notary requirements. The agreement can be updated at any time as needs change. Templates are available through Disability Rights Florida, and model tools are available through the National Resource Center for Supported Decision-Making. The agreement can be short and simple. The most important thing is that it reflects the person's wishes. Supported decision-making agreements should be reviewed over time. Life changes. Skills grow. Support needs may shift. Review the agreement at least once a year or sooner if something significant changes. Ask, is this still working? Are the right supporters involved? Do we need to update the areas of support? Think of the agreement as a living document that grows with the person and stays centered on their voice. Let's clear up a few common myths. Myth 1, supported decision-making is not legal. In Florida, that is not true. It is recognized in state law. Myth 2, they will make bad decisions. Everyone makes mistakes. Supported decision-making adds support, so learning can happen safely. Myth 3, supported decision-making takes too much time. Many families already do this in daily life. It is about being more intentional, not making life harder. Myth 4, schools or doctors will not accept it. Florida law requires a written reason if an agreement is refused. Supported decision-making is shared problem-solving that keeps the person in control. Here are a few ways to use supported decision-making every day. Start small by involving the person in simple choices like meals, clothing, or free time. Build consistency by using tools like schedules, checklists, calendars, or planners. Talk through options together and explain possible outcomes. And celebrate their input. Reflect on what worked and what could be improved next time. This builds confidence and learning over time. As youth turn 18, they gain new rights and responsibilities. This is a good time to learn about decision-making supports, like supported decision-making. Helpful resources include the Age of Majority IEP tip sheet, Got Transition, and the Center on Youth Voice Youth Choice. Two key resources are the National Resource Center for Supported Decision-Making and Disability Rights Florida. If you are looking for tools and templates, here are 3 great places to start. The National Resource Center for Supported Decision-Making offers tools, research, stories, and training materials. Disability Rights Florida offers Florida-specific guidance, templates, and resources. And Florida Wings, Exploring My Decision-Making Options, is a youth-friendly guide that explains decision-making options in Florida, including supported decision-making. Here are some categories of tools that may support skill building, with guidance from a trusted supporter. For budgeting and financial literacy, examples include Clio, Fit Money Super Squad, YNAB, Mint Pocket Guard, Monarch Money, and Good Budget. For job interview preparation, examples include Career.io, Udly, Google Interview Warmup, and Pramp. For time management and routines, examples include MyMap.ai and planning tools like Motion, Clockwise, Reclaim.ai, Timely, Todoist, and Rescue Time. For meal planning and home skills, there are also tools that help compare options, create plans, and practice decision-making. Remember, the goal is to build understanding and confidence while keeping the person in control. Here you can see our FND family. These are the programs housed under Family Network on Disabilities. Each program provides a unique service to a specific population. There are 3 PTI programs, funded by the U.S. Department of Education through the Office of Special Education Programs. POPIN, pronounced Poppin, serves North Florida. PSN serves Central and Southwest Florida. PEN, pronounced Penn, serves Central and Southeast Florida. The Family STAR program, funded by the U.S. Department of Health under HRSA, supports families of children and youth with special health care needs. FND also houses the Parent-to-Parent program, called P2P, which connects trained volunteer support parents with other parents to provide social and emotional support. FND also has a special needs trust where we provide comprehensive services, including serving as a trustee, co-trustee, or trust administrator. And finally, make sure to follow us on our social media for the most up-to-date information and resources. Your feedback is important to us. It helps us provide better resources and support for students and families. You can reach us by calling 800-825-5736. Again, that number is 800-825-5736. Let us know your needs, and you will be connected with a staff person who can support you. Visit our website for valuable resources and more information. And if you learned from this workshop or liked this presentation, please leave us a review on Google. Reviews help us reach more families. Thank you for spending this time with us. We look forward to hearing from you.